Welcome to Winning at Life Online, the place of product reviews, life hacks, and money advice. In this video, I'm going to give you 13 tips on how to get cheaper in car insurance for the year, whether you're a young driver or an experienced driver. So I do highly recommend watch this until the end because it will save you money. As every year passes, insurance seems to creep up higher and higher, near on unaffordable for the young, but not for all, as there are ways to reduce the cost of your premiums, which insurers, I can tell you, prefer you not to know. As knowledge leads to greater power, so to empower yourself, next time, to get cheaper insurance, please take note, as this will save you money. Whilst you may not be in a position to utilise all the tips offered, if you can use a number of them, you'll have a far better chance of having extra cash in your pocket. Number 1. Pay in a lump sum. Often people prefer to pay monthly, even when they can afford to pay all in one. So stop, this is madness. You can literally save on average from 80 to a few £100 a year by paying off in a lump sum. You are often offered better deals for doing this. Obviously there is no monthly interest, and whilst there is a realisation not everyone can do this, especially the younger drivers, see the other following tips to combine with this to get those premiums down. But number 1, recommend pay in a lump sum. Number 2, the add-ons. Other things that can reduce the price are removing other types of cover, including breakdown cover, windscreen cover, cover when driving abroad, and the courtesy car option. As often you'll get a free courtesy car if you take your car to a garage or a main dealer for repair, and getting breakdown cover can be cheaper going direct with the RAC, or either in my case, when I took my car to Mercedes-Benz, every service to the next service they give you complimentary breakdown cover anyway. So this can be cheaper than adding to your policy, building it up more and more, which can be an expensive list of add-ons. So less of the add-ons. Number 3, occupation, occupation, occupation. Believe it or not, your occupation has a massive impact on your insurance. Whilst we are obviously saying not to lie, the wording of your job can affect your policy massively. So if you work in a kitchen, say, and you say chef instead of kitchen staff, saying you're a chef is actually more expensive on your premiums than just saying kitchen staff. Other high paying jobs include music teachers, who will pay an extra £86 more a year in 2017 than teachers, just by clarifying music teacher. Whilst copywriters will offer a different quote than a writer, but one of the highest and biggest are personnel that commute to sites for work on construction sites. So be very careful with your wording of your job and choose correctly, otherwise you'll be out of pocket. Number 4, do not auto-renew. Nowadays, insurance companies will ask, can they store your card details for auto-renew policy? Instantly refuse this, as I can guarantee you'll be out of pocket by the hundreds. I speak from personal experience, recently renewing my insurance. I refuse and always refuse the auto-renew, so had a reminder sent through the post, to which I rang up and got it cheaper, then rang up again 12 days later to get a further £110 off my policy. And this is because insurance rates change on a daily basis, so can rise or drop dramatically depending on the day. So keep ringing back, a few days, a week to get the best price. A top tip is make sure you do this weeks in advance before the renewal, as you'll have more time and less stress and pressure trying to get a quote quickly. And seriously, do not auto-renew, because if they store your card, they'll just renew automatically, send you a letter out saying your policy's been renewed, and you'll be out of pocket by the hundreds. Number 5, the price match switch comparisons. Often, most insurance providers will offer a price match service, So go on a comparison website, put in your details, get the cheapest quotes around, and do as I have advised previously. Go back to your insurance company with plenty of time in advance, get a price match, from the switch comparisons, and then beat them down to a lower price. 9 times out of 10 they will price match. Number 6. Adding an extra driver to your policy. You can reduce your car insurance costs by adding an extra named driver to your insurance policy, especially if they are an older, more experienced on-the-road driver, regardless of whether they are male or female. Although you should avoid those with points, or if you are a young driver, another fellow young driver. This can be great if you are and aim towards more of the younger, more inexperienced drivers, as having someone more experienced on their policy, their dad say, or their mother, can drop the price again dramatically. Number 7. Where the vehicle is kept. Telling the insurers that the car is in a garage, on a drive, in a gated community, or off-street parking also drops the premiums dramatically, as most repairs or knocks/damages happen to cars left parked on the roads or busy areas overnight. Having an alarm tracker or immobiliser also helps in dropping the policy, but the AA was quoted as saying that most damage happens to cars left on the street outside houses overnight. So again, not saying to tell lies, but if the insurance company know this, it will drop your premium. Number 8. The level of cover you need. Comprehensive car cover is normally the most expensive type of insurance. It covers both your car and other cars if you have an accident. Third party, the most basic level of cover, covers claims against you if you're involved in an accident and injure somebody. It also covers the cost of repairing or replacing the other person's car, but not your own. Assess how often you plan to drive, what you can afford to cover, comprehensive or third party, and what type, of superficial car damage, whatever, that you're prepared to live with. If you have, a new driver and you have a fairly cheap car like we all did, maybe you don't need comprehensive because it'll be worth more than the car. These are the things you need to think about. Number 9. Increase your excess. Choosing to pay a higher voluntary excess on top of the compulsory excess you were offered and quoted, so the amount you'd have to pay up front if you made a claim can significantly reduce the cost of your car insurance. However, make sure you're able to afford to pay the voluntary excess if you do have an accident, as younger drivers with little money or no money could struggle to stump up an extra £300 or more after a crash. Also beware of overly mega cheap insurance, as they hide this behind a massive hefty excess you would have to pay. So make sure you read the small print. And just to clarify, an excess is if you have an accident or there's damage and say it's £1,000 and your excess is £300, well, you'd have to put the first £300 to the claim and the insurance company then make up the rest. That's how it works. So make sure you really look into it and check that you can afford to pay your voluntary excess, and check that you're happy with the compulsory excess as well, because again, you could be left out of pocket. Number 10. Do a Pass Plus or a similar qualification, because they're called different things. This can cut the cost of your premium massively. A Pass Plus is an advanced driving qualification certificate, mainly for new or younger drivers this is aimed at. This entails driving at night, in heavy traffic, on motorways, in built-up areas, or in adverse conditions. And like I said, this predominantly is done after an exam, and it's offered by your driving instructor. Or if you're a young driver, under 24, you can call up an instructor and you can do this anytime. It's probably £170 roughly, and it can drop your insurance by hundreds. So I recommend do a Pass Plus and save money. Number 11. Mileage. If you tell your insurers you do under 3,500 miles a year, your insurance will drop dramatically. This can earn you a discount simply because your car is on the road less often and is less likely to be involved in an accident. This is also confirmed by the AA insurers that say accepting anywhere between a 12,000 mile cap would earn you a 5% to 10% discount, and a 5,000 mile cap would earn you even more. Again, whilst we are saying, not to overcome it with the insurance companies, but again, these are all the tips to get your insurance cheaper. And if you can adhere to this and say do under 6,000 a year for some people, then perfect. Number 12. Do not use your car for work. Whilst I realise this is not practical for everybody, you can really try to avoid using your car for work or avoid travelling in peak times, normally 0630 to 0900 hours. Informing your insurance company that you do not commute in your vehicle will again drop the price dramatically. Insurance policies that cover social, domestic and pleasure, or social only, are generally cheaper because you're not at risk of accident or damage. Lastly, number 13, haggle. Do not be shy. It's your money you're saving from a multi-million pound business and a billion pound industry. So be pushy, go in strong, ask for a second year loyalty discount, which often shall be granted. The best way to do this is always over the phone, not always go into comparison websites looking at your computer screen, because buying a car is one of the few situations still left in which haggling is seen as acceptability and then leading to insuring it. Even in the age of the comparison website, the insurer will still bump up the cost of its second year cover, partly just to offset the discount it gave you in the first year, which is ridiculous. So as the customer, and if you like the insurer but not the price, don't hesitate to get the cheapest quote and then do, like I said above, price match, keep ringing back. And also another not so secret but top tip is salespeople on the phone will usually have on their desk a standard discount they can give without authorization, and they have a second discount they can give, but they need authorization from their supervisor or manager. So you already know when you get on the phone that you are entitled, no matter what company it is, they always have that policy to 2 discounts already waiting there when you call. And then, like I said, when you match it with the other tips that I've given, so on and so on, it's garage, demobilised, off-street parking, I don't commute in heavy traffic, and so on, all that accumulated, and you can literally save hundreds and hundreds a year. So thank you for listening, and I hope whether you are a new, young or experienced driver, you've learned something new today and some new tips in helping you with the ever-growing struggle of continuous insurance rises, where the fear is soon that car driving of the future will be a luxury rather than a necessity as people become priced out. Please support, like and share this video. I have many more videos available and to come to save you money, life hacks and tips. Thank you very much.